Well, it's 5 o'clock someplace, so that means it's time for Gold Fever Radio.
Hell of a time. I go straight from the bank, gassing up the tank, cranking up the radio, playing old Hank. It ain't that long.
Oh, well, hey, welcome everyone. Welcome another Wednesday. Welcome. Glad you guys all made it in. I don't see my guest here yet. You better be popping in here real soon. What's happening? It is Wednesday, May 22nd, 2023. What's going on in this world? There's only 233 days left in the year. And today is National Solitary Day, if you like to play that game. It's also National Vanilla Pudding Day. It's National Buy a Musical Instrument Day. Now, too bad I didn't see that one earlier because that would have been a good excuse. I could have bought another musical instrument. It's also National Craft Distillery Day. Cheers. All right. On this day in history, let's see what happened. 2011, one of the deadliest tornadoes struck Joplin, Missouri, killing 160 people. Must be tornado season. I've been seeing that a lot on the news. 1992, Johnny Carson made his last appearance. God, I remember watching that show too a lot. That was kind of a cool show, night show. 1849, Abraham Lincoln. He was granted a patent for a boat lifting device, and he was the only president that ever have a patent. Let's see if it's your birthday today. Happy birthday. You guys share birthdays with like Josh Allen. He's 28. He's a football player, if you guys didn't know that. Cody Johnson, 37. He is a country singer. And Mr. T, everybody knows who Mr. T is. He's 72 years old. All right, that's all that I have on all that type of stuff. What else is going on in this world? We got a holiday weekend coming up this weekend, so I'm sure you guys all got plans to get out of town or do something. Oh, it seems like my shirt is like all screwed up or something like that, you know. So you guys getting out of town, y'all be safe and have a safe weekend. I'm going to go up to Meadview this weekend. I'm going to go up there and do me some metal detecting. You guys, anybody ever use one of them detectors you pull behind the ATV, those rugs that you just put on and pull around? Well, I'm going to go up there and Meadview, and I think I'm going to try one of those type of devices, see if I can find me some gold and some meteorites doing that type of stuff. But that's what I'm going to do. So that's where I'm going to be this weekend. Maybe I'll have to do the show up there next Wednesday. We'll see how that's going to work out, huh? Let's see what else is going on. Let's see. I posted on the Facebook page some of the Facebook pages. I mean, the website is up and running, goldfeveradventures.com. I try to put down a lot of merchandise on there, like stuff like the merchandise. And so on that website right now, I have given free shipping. So that saves about $6-7 on some of that type of stuff, on some of these tumblers and stuff like that. So if you want to take advantage of that, that'll stay up there through this weekend, and then I'll change it after that. We'll do a wheel stuff probably end of the month. And later on in the show, look at this cool tumbler. That's a cool tumbler, huh? Yeah, baby. I'll have to give one of these away maybe later on in the show. So stay tuned for your chance to win this later on. Okay, that's what I got in my notes there. Let's see who's all in the chat room. Let's see. Let me back this clear up here. What's going on? Paul, hello, Paul. Paul says, hello, Mountain Man, but I don't see Mountain Man. Oh, Bobby, hello. MG Toe. What do you get when you drop a piano down a mine shaft? Yeah, that's a Mike Pung joke. You get a flat minor. Ha 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 ha. Janon. Hello, Josh Cooper. Let's see. Steve. Hello. Patty's Adventures. Hello. Martin, hello. Good evening. Richard Gibson. Robert, hello. Shaw's Mining. Hello. David Villa. I don't think Buck Rackley, Richard Duke. Can you do a tumbler with the mic on the side and your alien on the other? What alien? I can do anything you want. Oh, well, I shouldn't say that, but what alien you talking about? The mic on one side and an alien on the other side? I don't know what alien you mean. Hello, Tad. What alien you talking about? Tell me what alien. I'm going to send old Mike a text just in case he never got my or forgot about me. Let me see. How do I get a hold of Mike? Mike Pung. You're live now. Okay. We'll see if he responds to that. Are you from AZ? What part of AZ is your favorite? I'm in AZ. I'm out in between Wickenburg and Quartzsite is where I'm at. I'm out in the hot part of the state, the warm part. I'm about 40 miles from the California border, Blythe, over in that area. Yeah, I don't know what alien you mean. So, alien. Which alien? Which alien? There's a lot of aliens. So give me a hint on the alien. Anyways, that's what's happening. So like I said, I was just kind of waiting for old Mike to come in. Arizona's kind of screwed up time zone wise when, because Arizona we don't recognize time zones, and so it's hard to. I guess anybody else in the country, I don't know how it all works. All that I know is it's 5 o'clock somewhere, regardless of whatever time that is. So that's what it is. The prank call you made a long time ago, that alien. Hogs 14. Hello. I need a picture of it. The JPEG. If I have the JPEG of it, then I could. So depending on which alien that you're talking about. Let me see. You're talking about the prank phone call. Well, while we're waiting for Mr. Pung to come in, let me find where that prank phone call was at. I would have did more of them, but man, we got a lot of trouble over that prank phone call. That guy was not happy at all. He wanted to kick everybody's ass. And let me see. Let me find where was that prank phone call at. Let's see if I should still have that someplace here. Let's see, videos.
Hi, I'm attorney Don McGreary. I'm sure by now.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to push that button. Alien Zoo. Where's that at? I don't see it. Oh, Big Daddy. That's what it was called. Tell me which alien that you want that you're talking about in this here one right here. Here you go.
Hello?
Hello, is Jenny there?
Who is this?
This is Big Daddy at Doo-Wah.
Big Daddy Doo-Wah. She's not here right now, Big Daddy.
Do you know when she'll be back?
Why do you ask something like that? You don't even know Jen. Jenny's my girlfriend.
She's your girlfriend?
Yes.
Well, we went out the other night, and I snuck a peek at her phone, and this is her number. I just want to see her again.
I don't think she's going to be going out with you anytime soon, dude. She's my girlfriend, and she wouldn't do something like that.
If you think she's your girlfriend, you better go find another girl.
Why do you say that?
Because we did the Wampa Bompa.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I bonked her really good.
She got a taste of a little green alien, if you know what I mean.
Hey, listen here, pal. I don't know who you are or what you want, but I think you have the wrong girl and the wrong number, pal.
Oh, I know I have the right number. She's not there?
No, she's not. Here, listen, man. If you want to have some problems, I can meet you somewhere and we can take care of this. But I'm sure she's never seen you, big Wonka daddy.
You can get upset if you want, but she is the best human I've ever had. Oh, and my gosh, I just want to see her again.
Listen, pal. I'll tell you what, man. If you just tell me where you're at, I'll come over and I can, put your head through a wall or something and kick your ass. You like that?
Now you want to kick my green ass?
All right, you're done, pal. See you later.
You're talking about the full green guy? Is that the one you're talking about, Paul? The all green guy? There was only 2 aliens on there I saw. One was all green and one was two-toned, or half green and half something else or something. But you're talking about the all green guy? I'd have to go in either. I'd have to go in to find that picture. But yes, I could do that. I could put any picture. I can custom make these things even. If you've got a JPEG, I can custom make them just for you. We could do that too. I should put a thing on the webpage for custom designs. Well, I don't see Mike didn't answer me, and I don't see him popping in I don't see him popping in here. So there's a meteorite. This is the last meteorite I got when I was up there in that was on the web. See that, Janon? That's what a meteorite looks like. That's what the Meadview or the Gold Basin meteorites look like. They don't look like a normal meteorite, but that's a Gold Basin meteorite, and that was a smaller one too. So that's all I got. I don't think I have. No, I think I left that out in the outside, but there's other types of meteors that are more magnetic. No, I don't have that. Have a lot more iron in them. The ones up there in Meadview. Yeah, that is a big one, huh? The one up there in Meadview. These are stony ones, so they're a little bit magnetic, but they're not as magnetic as some of the big ones are. But you can see all the fusion crust on that. But so when it came through the atmosphere and broke up. Well, that's what I want to go find some more of that. Yes, and there's just the little one. That's a smaller one. But oh yeah, and my piece of gold. Gold's getting harder to find. When's your next prize wheel event, Mark? I'll do one at the end of this month. I'll plan one towards the end of the month. I got to get some gold together. Maybe I'll put any, meteorites. And the meteorites have to fit inside of the Riker boxes. Inside of these things. So they have to do that. I was doing, what do you guys think of something like that? You know what those are? Those are copper artifacts. Those are Native American Indians. Those are all found up in Michigan. Hair beads, knife points, arrowheads, rings. Everything they did up with copper. So I was thinking I got a few of those too. We could do that. Tad sent him a message also. All right, Tad. I should just call him, huh? To say, where the hell you at, Mike? Oh, it says active now. So maybe he's trying to get on. Oh, he doesn't show that he's let me see if I can call him. Let's see. Good thing I didn't go switch over to the computer. Sometimes it does that. But you'll see I called. Hey, what's happening, man? We're waiting for you to come on. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's okay. I thought maybe you forgot about us. Okay, I'll kill time. Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay. He's he's just running late. He's driving back to the house, so he'll be on. He said 5 minutes or so. So we'll just kill time. So let's see. Describe that magic carpet ride metal detector, please. Uh, which one are you talking about? You talking about that little with Patrick that was up there that I filmed him. I sometimes secretly film people and they don't realize I'm filming them, and then I do a little thing. Joseph Otto, hello. How is it going out there? Yeah, this is really me. I heard that somebody spoofed me, hacked me. You know, generally I'm pretty careful about when you get friend requests and that I don't accept friend requests. I go in to see if they're brand new or if they're old or if they just signed up, because I know that that happens if if they just signed up or they're brand new or they don't have any pictures or nothing, then they're new and I don't accept those friend requests. But I think maybe what happened is what I was told, that other people that accept those friend requests like that, some people just accept any friend request. It comes in, they're accepting it. Well, then they get all of your friends too, and then they can go in and spoof the friends that they get that way. So, and Tad, you told me to go in to hide my friend list, but I couldn't find out how to where to do that at. So that's something I'll have to further investigate, how to do that, to hide the friends list or something, so they can't. But I guess they could still get it from somebody else. I know, isn't that something? It was funny. I was in looking the other day. I changed my Facebook page to my main page to followers. So it says like there's over 6,000 followers, but when you go in there, they're like it's these women, the big titty women and all of that. And the funny thing is, like three or four of them, it's all the same pictures but different names. So man, if Facebook got rid of all of them, I wouldn't have any more followers. Uh, but Facebook don't care because that's one of they can say, oh yeah, we got 20 million people on our show, or 20 million people, and it's just all a lie. Half of them are phony. But if they got rid of all them phony accounts, then that would drop their numbers way down. Remember, that's what old Musk was complaining about with the other thing. What was that? Instagram or whatever that other one was that he bought, X, because half of them are all just phony accounts. Well, that's what Facebook is done. Are you sure that's a meteor? Yes, I am absolutely 100% positive that's a meteor. It has been authenticated even. Twitter. Thank you, Twitter. Twitter. All right, you guys are good. Twitter. Say that 3 times really fast. Twitter. Yes, Tad, up there, they're called stony meteorites. They're elchondrites, or whatever how you say that word, is what they are up there. They're a little bit different. Because when I went up there looking for them one time, I probably threw half of those away because I didn't realize those were meteors. I thought they were just hot rocks until I talked to another guy up there that hunts them, and I was showing him some, and he says, "Oh no," that's a meteor." And I said, "Oh man, I think I've been throwing them away." So then I kind of learned how they look, because they look different than some of the other meteorites I've seen. And then if you remember the old show, The Meteorite Hunters? They walked around out there with magnets and just picking them off the ground. That's so full of crap. You couldn't walk around picking them off the ground. I mean, you think about it. Meteorites come flying into space from the Earth at how fast, and just hits the ground and just sits on the ground. Doesn't impact, go in the ground or not. Because some of them meteorites are like 6, 7, 12 inches down. So I don't see how they can just pick them off the ground. Unless they hit a hard rock or something, and then they fall over and just sit there on the ground or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just killing time until I guess I could play the commercial, huh? Wait for Mike Pungy to get here. Let me pay the bill here and get that out of the way. now. Okay, hold on, we'll be right back.
ICMJ, the International California Mining Journal, was first published in 1931, 93 years old this year. Since our first issue, our goal has remained the same, and that is to provide miners with a voice, a marketplace for their goods and services, and to offer expert advice and tips from our knowledgeable writers, miners, geologists, all in the field. We still offer our 12 and 24-month print subscriptions, but keeping up with the times and with our reader requests, the digital online subscription option allows for a simple and gorgeous reading experience using your preferred technology, your phone, your tablet, or computer. Sign up for our print, online, or both print and online at www.icmj.com or call us at 831-479-1500. For our advertising services, both display advertising and classifieds, select the Miners Market section or call us. Happy prospecting.
Happy prospecting. Yeah, you guys did see that last issue, didn't you? That was a very special issue. Anyways, I will give away that tumbler a little later on in the show. I see our guest has arrived. Let's just bring him on in here. Here we go, Mr. Pung himself.
Hey, everybody.
What's happening there, buddy?
Well, you don't want to know.
Oh, please. I'm trying to find a different. Please enlighten us.
Just my light. I'm gonna turn that light off. Hold on a second.
Okay. I was looking for.
There, that ought to be a little bit better.
Why does that go that way? A little more better.
Does that look okay?
You look great.
Thanks. You look great too.
Hey, thank you. Hey, somebody asked me how long your beard was.
I don't know.
You never measured it?
Let's see. That's 6 inches. Where do you want me to measure from? My nose or
from the chin down?
Chin down. Okay, let's see. It's we're all right about there, right?
Yeah, that's about there.
Well, that says 8 inches, but you know they're lying.
Well, I was going to guess 8 inches, so because if that was 6 inches, then that's got to be 8.
Damn near 2 feet.
Yeah. So everybody knows you. So what you been up to?
Well, recently we've been working with the state of Michigan trying to get the beach open back up for gold prospecting. They closed it down this year. So the final ruling came out today. They're doing some studies for antiquities and stuff because the water level is down, and there's a lot of old sawdust piles that's got a bunch of antiques in it from back in the lumber days in the old lumber yards. There's some old shipwrecks that are around there, and they're not wanting people to be digging around them, and a bunch of miners carrying around a bunch of shovels made him nervous. And I says, well, you're going to either have to let us back on the beach and let our shovels out there, or else we're going to put our shovels down and start carrying pitchforks. March on the state capitol.
Oh yeah, what'd they say to that? No
yeah,
problem.
well, they conceded to some. They're going to allow, instead of shutting it completely down, which they had done earlier. They went ahead and said this year during the study, instead of restricting people from gold prospecting, they're just going to not have the sluice boxes. They're just going to have gold pans. So basically, hands and pans, or a small shovel and a pan is going to be allowed. So you can extract gold from the beaches still, but until next year, you can't use any equipment. That's all, just a pan. But that's a step up from being completely kicked off the beach. That's for sure. But
so how would you use a sluice box on the beach?
Recirculation.
Okay. Okay.
So a little high banker, gold cube. There's people that just put a header box on a sluice. I mean, basically recirculation is all it was allowed on there earlier. And it took a lot to get that allowed. It took a couple of years to finally allow them to do that. And then this year, with the waters, about 18 inches of water down. And since the water was down so far, it was exposing a lot of stuff, and they were getting nervous about it. The easiest thing to do was nothing. And since it's a special use permit that was issued to the park to allow for gold panning, they said, we're just not going to issue the or the permit this year. And I said, I don't think that's going to work out very good. But it was a heck of a fight. Did some Zoom calls with them. I mean, I understand them trying to preserve the history and stuff like that. I mean, it's all important stuff. I mean, we hate it when we find an old mine site and someone's gone in there and pilfered everything, and now it doesn't look very good anymore. It looks more like a trap, or they set it on fire, or whatever the case. There's a bunch of idiots out there, and but the rest of us nice guys, we don't want to be punished because of a few idiots. But anyway, I talked a little bit of sense into them, evidently not enough, or else we got everything I wanted. Um, they they're going to look at it again for next year, and we're more than likely going to get everything back again next year after their studies.
Well, doesn't on the beach, like say up in Nome, if you're down on the beach and you dig the hole, once that water comes back, it just fills all that back in again.
Us as miners, we know that. We know that. Well, they had to move their park rangers headquarters because the beach was eroding, or the cliff was eroding away. I mean, the lake and nature takes what it wants. I mean, there's no possible way a bunch of fat guys with a shovel could go in there and do the damage that nature does when a big storm comes in. And Lake Superior is like a miniature ocean. They'll have 30 and 40-foot waves come in there, ridiculous, on some of the big storms, and that's going to do some damage, and it's going to wash away antiquities and wash away or wash in logs. And I mean, it's just crazy. It's like a freshwater ocean out there in Lake Superior. The big lake they call Gitche Gumi.
Like Gitche, that's a song.
Yeah. Legend lives on from a Chippewa hometown.
Yeah, the old Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's they do understand a little bit, but they are answering to their people, and I finally convinced a bunch of their people all to get together on the same call, and I was on the call too, and pointed out quite a few things, but they're going to do their studies that they got planned, and next year I'll get ahead of the game. The permit that's issued now expires on the end of the year at the 31st of December. So I'll start working with them first thing in January to not get to the point where they're having to close something off and then back up and reopen it back up again, because I guess it makes them look funny. But I'll help them next year, 25, to get things rolling in the right direction to begin with, and I'm sure everything's going to be fine. I mean, there wasn't any cussing or yelling or anything, so it's they're reasonable enough to listen. So that's a good thing. They didn't just close it down. I've got some other things that I'm going to be working on the state of Michigan with too. So Michigan's my hometown. I mean, that's where I started, and the Air Force and gold has drugged me everywhere else.
So when you say Michigan is and they're closing this down, the beach, are you talking like the lower part or the upper part, or is it all combined, the whole entire thing the same?
Michigan allows gold prospecting, but their rules encompass the inland lakes and streams. Okay, the big deal with lakes, the Great Lakes, is they're considered border waters. Okay, they're either going to border another state or border another country, Canada to the north. And since they're considered and classified as border waters, they do not, it's not part of the laws that are on the books right now for prospecting within the state of Michigan, Upper and Lower Peninsula. So, that's the big issue. It's got there hasn't been any rules, and someone started saying, well, there aren't any rules, so we're going to do whatever we want to. So they made one rule. The rule is there are no rules, so you can't do anything. So that's the only rule on it right now. So the special use permit overrides that, and now we can in a certain area. So the easiest thing, or probably the most logical thing to do, would be to rewrite the gold prospecting rules in Michigan and include, with some guidance, the border waters, the Great Lakes, and that's basically the position we're gonna go. So don't tell the state of Michigan, because I'm gonna attack them with that. So
Cool. Well, I was just earlier, I went up to Michigan. I'm showing these here. I got a whole bunches of those. I started putting them in boxes. I was in the upper UP, uh, down around Little Bay de Noc area, all up and through there.
Oh yeah.
Hunting all them copper artifacts. It was really kind of cool.
Yeah, I've got a lot of copper metal detecting and stuff for float copper up by Houghton. Houghton is in the Keweenaw Peninsula. So the north, the rooster cap up at the very, very top of the Upper Peninsula. Yeah, up closer, closer to Copper Harbor, yeah. But Houghton, if you look, there's a river that cuts that whole top edge of the state right off, right in the middle of it, and that goes right through Houghton. So they've got big college town and everything right there. But there's a lot of copper in that area, the big copper mines you can tour and all that other stuff. But I've found big pieces of float copper in there.
I know it's funny that I remember this guy. I got to get rid of the shadow. This sun comes through this window. There was this guy I knew that lived up there. He lived up there in Garden City in the UP area.
Oh yeah.
Escanaba actually is where he lived at.
Right.
He would bring me down like 3-gallon buckets just full of that float copper every year. And when he would cut down from metal, and people go around here and still in the wires when you could just go up there and get all the copper you want.
Yeah. And it's funny when I see float Michigan Keweenaw Peninsula float copper, and the prices that they sell for in your rock shows in your area there.
Yeah. So you're known for. I don't see none of your equipment. You're in a different room this time.
Yeah, I'm in. I got a little corner in an office area that I'm hiding right now.
So what are you famous for?
Maybe the gold cube.
Well, let's talk about that gold cube. I'm sure everybody by now has probably heard of the gold cube.
Yeah. This little talk about what's going on in Michigan. That's actually where the gold cube was born. Paul asked if we can use a rocker box. No, you cannot use any type of sluice device, hand fed or pump fed. The only thing you can use is a pan. Okay, so that's it, just a pan. So you can't use a rocker box or hand fed with a water bucket and battery powered pumps. All that stuff is out. So panning only. There's no place for a golden sand up there. We're talking about the middle of a beach.
Oh, okay.
So anything that resembles a capture area is a sluice box classification. So if it's got to be a pan or forget it.
So what are you doing? Are you just digging on the beach then, and then using the water for the ocean, I guess, to pan this out? Is that how you're doing it?
Yeah. Yeah, you just get a pan full, you walk down into the water. It's fresh water, so there's no sharks or anything. But way back in 2008, I was down there, and I was thinking that there should be glacial gold brought up on the beach there from 10,000 and 30,000 years ago. And I thought, because of the striations on the bottom of the Lake Superior, that there's gold mines right across the lake. I figured that there should be some gold in this particular area, and that's Lake Muskegon's area, the park there. And so I made a plan with a friend of mine, Kurt George, and his family and our family. We're going to go to Colorado, so we stopped in at um, Muskegon's Lake State Park to check to see if there's any gold up on the beach. So when we got to the beach, by golly, there was gold, and we were on our way to Colorado, so we had a high banker with us, and we asked the ranger if we could prospect and set the high banker up, and he says he didn't know. I said, well, we only have about an hour that we can do this, so that if we can do it for about an hour, if you can find out if we can or not, come down and let us know. We'll just quit if we can't. So we set up, and we had found a pan full of gold with about 20 pieces in it. And every pan we was pulling out around the high side of these logs that were, basically just stuck in the sand. We were pulling, 15, 20, 30 pieces of gold in a pan. And so we figured if we set the high banker up, we was going to kill it. We was going to get a bunch of gold. So we set the high banker up, and we ran about 20 buckets through there in about an hour. And we ended up with about 20 pieces of gold. That gold, the sand was so heavy that you had to run at such an angle and run it hard enough to where it would actually process, that it was blowing out the small, tiny, flat gold, because it was like foil thin gold. So it was very difficult to get. So we were pretty disappointed. We checked our tailings, and sure enough, there's a bunch of gold in our tailings. So we figured there had to be a better way. So we took some black sands with us. We got the high banker off the beach because they said we weren't supposed to, and all that good stuff. And so the challenge became, what is it going to take to get this type of gold? Because I've tried other gold and it seemed easy, and this gold on this beach was ridiculously difficult. So what is it going to take to change the rules a little bit to make the gold stay instead of discharging it? I hate catch and release. So we wanted to make sure that we was able to get that gold. So over the next few months and about a year or so, we tried a bunch of different ways of doing it. I even tried the old Exorcist, the dry washer, the Exorcist dry washer. It's got a static cling on the mat that I figured might capture and hold that little gold. It did some, but it wasn't the answer. I tried all kinds of stuff. I came up with, it's another one. Here in Oklahoma, we're known for our tornadoes, and I had one device that it was called the tail of the twister. I call it the tot. But the tail of the twister, I would change the height of the vortex to create a different zone that I was able to pull off with another suction tube. Well, it was real fidgety and it worked really nice, but it wasn't miner proof. There's too much room for error on that thing, so it wouldn't be just a blink and all of a sudden you just pooped all your gold out. So that wasn't going to work. But using different forces, I really liked the vortex. And then while we were looking for that, I found the vortex on a horse trailer. Of course, I've kind of repeating myself from other past shows and stuff, but I found it on the tailgate of a horse trailer. And after a couple of screw ups, we actually realized at a real steep angle that each of the little pockets were vortex. And I said, well, that tail of the twister vortex thing seemed to hold the gold pretty good. So we got to get away from the eddy behind the riffle and start using the vortex, and that creates like a little quicksand pocket. And then the gold gets stuck under there, so now it can't get away. So if it can't get away, then we're retaining the gold that we're losing with every other thing we've tried. So once we had the concepts down, then we tried to fit it into a box, and so then the only way to increase the speed of the water was to create a higher drop into the next layer, and the only way to do that was back and forth. So that's where the zigzag came from, and then pretty soon it looked like a box, so it was a cube. So we called it the gold cube, and I was working with Red Wilcox in Colorado. I'd met him online. I met this guy online, and so we were throwing ideas back and forth, and I would say I think this is going to work, and he says it wouldn't work, and he tried to prove me wrong, and they just kept moving us on and on and on until finally we came up with something that actually worked. It's kind of like, all right, this thing works. And I was like, oh crap, this thing works. We're going to have to come up with some money. I don't want to keep it a secret, So so that's because of the sand in Lake Superior, and that's why I fight so hard for those guys there in Michigan. The fact that it's my home state, but also the fact that Lake Superior has such a big part in the grassroots of the gold cube. I say it's difficult gold. It's the black sands are completely round, completely aerodynamic, and they sink through water quick. And the gold is foil flat, so it looks like a flutter through through the air. It's like a leaf falling off a tree. It's not a very fast drop. So what you end up with is your gold sitting on top of the black sand. So we had to change the rules somehow so it wouldn't stay exposed. So that's Michigan was the birthplace of the challenge of why what it's going to take to get that gold, and the gold cube came from it. And then from that, we've got a few other products, like the banjo pan that uses the vortex mat. We've got the crevice master line of tools for crevicing, and we've got the new classifier golden rule. I mean, we keep everything that we want to use. If there's a hole in the market that needs to be filled with a tool that actually works, that we work at making sure that we can make that happen. So and try not to keep it a secret. Of course, when you don't keep it a secret, it's going to cost you a heck of a lot of money to begin with. But you're in business to feed your family. It's like I got a big old belly to feed. So
so what all comes with the cube? I mean, so with the cube, I'm trying to finagle something here.
You're trying to multitask. You're not capable of that.
Well, actually, I was going to try something here. Is what I was trying to do. I should have thought of this earlier, but anyway. So with the cube, so you came out with the gold cube.
Yeah.
And then now you've got all these different attachments that you can hook with.
Yeah. The gold banker on top. We came off with that classifier screen on top because I hate shaking buckets. You put a screen on top of a bucket and you got to shake that darn bucket. I hate shaking buckets. I've grown a hate with buckets. So I set the cube up as close to the job as possible, so I don't have to worry about buckets. If I got a bucket, there better be just a bunch of little tiny concentrates in there. I don't want to be carrying the whole stream back to the house with me. Boy, I tell you what, you put all these words down on the bottom. It's like, holy cow, someone's giving me a compliment. But anyway,
that's why I can do this, and that way nobody sees what I'm doing here.
There you go. Yeah, but the gold banker, it's we started out with a gold banker, and it's basically a screen deck. I love drop riffles, and And so we put 3 drop riffles down in the bottom under the screen in case there's some big gold that gets stuck in there. It'll give you instant gratification that when you pull that off, you can see some gold. I've seen some of the shows there in Bering Sea. They've just filled that thing full of gold. Like, what a terrible problem to have. But
Oh yeah, really. I've seen some of them pictures.
yeah, yeah, it's Brian Wilder. He's got some great stuff there on the Wild Ranger. But when we came up with that, the neat part about that was we could have a. Are you gonna put it on a cup or something?
You what?
I recognize that guy.
Yeah, you may realize what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Real soon, you may realize what I'm doing.
Uh-oh. So anyway, the gold banker, its specialty is a couple of things. I mean, it feeds the cube. So anything that's if you can just shovel right on top of that thing, then you're not going to have to worry about the what size the material is going into your cube because it's already sized for you. And then everything that comes off of the gold banker is your big gravels and stuff. And you get into some areas and there's some really cool stuff. In Georgia one time, I found a spear point. It was stuck in some clay. And the gold banker, I call it gizzard gold. The gold banker, when you put a layer of gravel on top of that plate, and then you put on just a big old blob of clay, what'll happen is you can run that clay back and forth through that gravel, and it acts like a chicken gizzard. It just grinds up that clay and turns it to milk. And as soon as it's ready, it goes through the gold cube. So when it goes through the gold cube, it doesn't have a chance to coagulate back up again. You don't have to re-stir your bucket. And so as far as working through clay, I have never found anything any better than the combination of the gold banker and the gold cube itself. So it's great for regular gravels. It's great for both of the clay breaking up, and it's also worked out real well for the beach, or if you're working with a bunch of black sands. And I'll just pile straight on top of that thing. Just put a big old lump on there, and it'll block everything up. But that's what you want, because what'll happen is the water will back up behind it, and then as soon as it backs up, and then it overflows, and it acts like a feeder. Because when you get into some black sands on the beach, or when you're working concentrates or something, you can't feed it full scoops. I mean, it's the cube will take about 1,000 pounds an hour, but 1,000 pounds of black sands is only 4 or 5 buckets, and 1,000 pounds of regular river gravels, it could be 14 or 16 buckets. So you're going to be able to get a lot more scoops, a lot more buckets through there in an hour than you can if you're working with pure black sands. So you got to slow down. If it's weight, not bucket count, that you're most concerned with. So the gold banker acts as a feeder. It'll make it to where as it's overflowing and dissolving your mound of stuff in the middle that you piled up there, it's feeding it nice and evenly, and so that worked out real well that way. And then a little later, we came up. I noticed the guy named Kelly Fowler. He owns Gold Fox, and up there in Montana. I noticed he was making a really good quality trommel, and so we paired up with Gold Fox to put a trommel on top of the gold cube. And since then, he hasn't been able to take any vacations.
And he keeps coming out with new products all the time too.
Yeah, but he can't stock them because I got him too busy.
Yeah.
But it's that trommel is great for like your loose river gravels and stuff like that, but it's not very good for clay. A lot of your trommels out there are not good for clay because it doesn't allow the clay enough time to get worked over to break them up. So if you're in clay, a trommel most of the time, unless you got a nice long trommel and you got beater chains and all kinds of crap in there, you're not going to get enough time on the dirt to process through the clay. To where on the gold banker on top, when your rocks are clean, you know your clay is gone. It's processed right. It's not rolling off the end. It's not collecting gold and being a big gold turd coming off the end. So you got to make sure that your clays are all busted up. Now, one of the things as far as clay goes, I know we were talking about accessories, but one of the things with clay, a lot of people they'll get into clay and they're like, do I process all this clay or what should I do? The easiest thing to do when you get into clay is just take your shovel and just fillet the side of that so you can see all the layers in there that's in that clay. Now up in Michigan, anywhere that remember I was talking about um, the glaciers that went through 10,000 and 30,000 years ago. Well, they both that glacial till it turns to clay, and you'll see two distinct layers of clay in there. And so when you look at the clay, you look to see. Um, yeah, yeah, he is. So when you look at the clay, you look at your gravels in there. And when you've got your gravels in there, let's say you've got like 4 inches of clay, and the gravels have only gone down about a half inch. So if your gravels are only going a half inch through the clay, go 1 inch. Go twice the distance of your gravels to find your clay. So if you got clays all the way down a foot deep, then you've obviously got very loose gravel or loose clay, and your gravels are a foot deep. You're going to have to go all the way to the bottom of the clay, or at least 2 feet, in order to make sure you're getting the gold. But always test to make sure there's gold there in the first place, because that clay may have been there and solidified with gravels and everything before an episode came through that brought in the gold. So make sure you do a test, and if that clay doesn't have gold in it, don't ruin your day by having to screw around with clay, because clay is a real pain in the butt.
Well,
But
clay can rob all your gold though too, can it?
I'm sorry.
Clay can rob all your gold.
Yeah. It's clay is real sticky, and gold likes to stay dry. It's I call it hydrophobic. So it likes to stay as dry as it can. So therefore, if it's got a nice dry surface and something sticky comes to it, like surface tension or clay, it's going to get stuck to it. And when it gets stuck to it, it all rolls up and just goes off the end of whatever you got. So it's I call them gold turds, and you don't want your clay making gold turds. So you got to make sure that clay's all broke up so it can't hold anything.
Okay.
But yeah, the last accessory that we came up with for the cube was we got a bunch of gravels and things that are coming out of the trommel, or you're finished with and coming off the end of the gold banker, that could have gold in it. You could be in an area that's got a bunch of big gold. If you do, just go to my website. My phone number's on there. Come get me. I'll help you get that big gold. No, but we got a nugget zone. That nugget zone actually will actually process the bigger gravels and stuff that come off the gold banker and the trommel, and that will make sure that you can not be getting rid of stuff that's just a little bit too big for the punch plate holes or whatever. So it's going to make it to where you're coming home with your big gold and all your small gold.
That's something I've never actually seen, is the nugget zone. I mean, I've seen it in pictures and stuff like that, but actually seeing that in person, I haven't seen that.
Now, one of the nice things that we learned a lot, we actually came up with a thing called, what did I call it? I think we called it a grizzle. Can't remember now. Let me think. But anyway, we tried to put a grizzly bar on top of a griffle. We call it a griffle. A grizzly bar on top of the riffles, all one component, all staying together. And but we found out that it didn't work. It was a very bad fail, and it didn't work because the grizzly bars take a different angle than a sluice box does. and it just clogged up as fast as it possibly could. So inventing is nothing more than making as many mistakes as you can as fast as you can until you can't break it anymore. So that's how you invent stuff. But the Nugget Zone, the very first riffle on the sluice area of the Nugget Zone, it doesn't slant. It is 90 degrees straight up and down. And the reason we did that is we call it, instead of a riffle, it's actually what we call a nugget block. Okay, so the nugget block, basically, um, the nuggets will run into that thing and it can't get over it. So every picture that we've had from our customers that's showing our nugget zone with a nugget stuck in it, it's all been right there. That we have a 6 inch area. I'm sorry, 6 inch area that is nothing but matte, and then your first riffle, that is the nugget block. And every piece of gold that people have sent pictures in showing that look what we found in the nugget zone, it's all been in that first 6 inches and stopped right up against that nugget block. So it's very effective. I've got one guy that does not have a gold cube, doesn't have a gold banker, doesn't have a trommel, but he's got a nugget zone because he said that he's using it as a small um, high banker. So he's just using it as a high banker. And I designed, the width of that is this specific width because of the 1100 pump. So it was designed to run with the 1100 pump. So a lot less amperage. If you could put a bigger box on something like that and run a bigger pump, but I opted to go with just targeted happiness. We wanted to make sure that there is a good uh, the right amount of water for the right width, so there's no adjustments required. The only adjustment you got is the angle, whether or not you're going to run slow and low, or if you're going to give it some speed. When you're dealing with nuggets, you can darn near stand it straight up and down and it'll still work. But I've got a sticker on there that says Nugget Zone, and some of the people on there, they may notice there's a picture of a level on there, and that the level has it's got a line on one side and it's got a line on the other side. So let's go over here. So those two lines, when they're level, if they're at the same level as the sluice as the gold cube, that's the preferred level. So that level on there, once you have that, once your box is on enough of a tilt that line is straight across, then you're at the level without having to bring a level with you.
Very good. I never knew that.
Yeah, so I just incorporated that right into the sticker. But that's the best thing for that bottom sluice area. That's where it was designed to run. So,
oh look, here's
a woohoo moment. Woohoo!
I'm just throwing some stuff up here. Trippin' Tommy, ain't seen Tommy in a long time. Roland Saxton, Kathy Villa, and Richard Gibson. There's Minuteman. Wayne Peterson, man. There's some of the old timers coming out of the closet. Dallas.
The old Wayne Peterson, old Nugget Brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tad Hamilton. So, Mike, I don't have to metal detect your tailing piles in. Nope, you don't. And that's the other. If you don't have the Nugget Zone and you've got the Gold Banker and the trommel, I don't like all that stuff dropping in my water, but so I just put another tub on top to where it all goes into another tub, and then I'll scoop it and I'll scan it over a metal detector. And at the end of my time there, scoop it, scan it. If it sounds off, you figure out what it is, a bullet or old square nail or whatever. But if there's no beepy, there's no keepy. Get rid of it. But yeah, metal detectors they're pretty effective. But the Nugget Zone's inline, so you don't have to worry about that pile.
Okay, so let's see. Dallas says, "What's your thoughts on Desert Fox?" Well, I can pan faster than that Desert Fox runs, but that's somebody that don't want to pan.
Well, and you know, and that's true. I mean, there's like everything that comes out of the gold cube as a concentrate. That's the time to use. Like a lot of people that like to compare the gold cube to a Miller table, a spiral wheel, a blue bowl. I mean, those are two separate actions. The gold cube is a super concentrator. Now, what comes out of the gold cube and goes into this other machine is what you're going to use to clean your gold. All those other things are gold cleaners. So if you're going to be cleaning your gold, then that's fine. But you don't want to if you take a truckload of dirt and run it through a high banker or a gold cube or whatever, you'll be there for a few hours. If you want to take a truckload and run it through one of the spiral wheels or a blue bowl or a Miller table or something like that, you're going to be there for a month or two.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to use the right tool at the right part of the process. So my favorite cleanup tool is actually a gold pan. And anybody that is in mining, they've heard the statement, all mining starts with a pan and it ends with a pan. That's absolutely 100% right. You've got to be able to pan. You got to be able to pan good enough to find the gold, and you got to be able to pan good enough to isolate your gold at the end of the day, because it's a lot more fun looking at a bunch of gold than it is a bunch of gold mixed into a bunch of dirt. So you got to learn how to pan. And I've got probably every piece of machinery that was built for water. I know Jack's got every piece of machinery that was built for dirt and dry washing.
Yeah.
but it's you have to understand what the machine is designed to do. And if the machine is designed to concentrate, you can't use it as a cleaner. If it's designed to clean the gold, then you're going to be spinning your wheels and wasting your time if you're trying to use it to concentrate it. I don't want to give anybody a bad thing, but the funniest thing I ever saw was that rubber mat in the bottom of a blue bowl. I was like, I don't think you got the right idea here.
Yeah, that's not what the blue bowl's designed for.
No, but what they did is they made a blue bowl a concentrator that way, and that's all they were doing. There was the blue bowl is supposed to be a cleaner, and they just turned it into a concentrator. So each their own. I'm sure there's.
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying. Tad said, I think the Desert Fox works for black sands, but my theory is some of that gold, that fine gold that you're going to get with the Desert Fox, your black sands is heavier than the gold. And to get that gold out of there, you're going to get a ton of black sands comes with it. So.
Well, that's partly true and partly not. Black sands are not heavier than gold.
Well, I mean, not heavier, but the same concentration of gold. In other words, if you class everything down or whatever, some of your black sands can be heavier than the gold. And if you're trying to get the gold to come up, whatever size on your spray bar that you're adjusting, you're going to get a lot of that black sands that's heavier than that gold coming up.
Yeah, if everything's like my golden rule classification system, the golden rule is if everything's the same size, gold rules. Okay, so what you're saying is if you've got some bigger black sands in there that outweigh the gold, because the gold is smaller, a lot smaller than the black sands, those black sands they're gonna get in the way, and they're gonna get up into your in the middle of the wheel. Okay, so they're gonna get in the way, and it could cause you to turn your water up too high, give it too much angle. You'll accidentally discharge some of your gold because there's too much other stuff in there that is fighting. But if everything's the same size, then you're gonna get a much better result. And usually when I'm running a wheel, I always have the black sand climbing about 3/4 of the way up, and then the gold will outrun it. So that's how I adjust it, is just make sure my black sands go up most of the way. But I classify into batches, and I instead of just taking everything from some people say, oh, I'll just classify it to 20 and just run everything 20 minus. Well, if you got a bunch of gold that's 100 mesh and you're putting 20 mesh black sand boulders in there, you're going to start you'll be losing some of your 100 mesh gold. So you're going to need to break it down again. When I talk about the creating batches, a good rule of thumb to get into the situation of the smallest piece of gold actually outweighs your largest piece of garbage. I use the ×2 rule. So like I say that I classified everything for the gold cube to 1/8 of an inch. Everything comes out to 1/8 of an inch. My next classification is ×2, so 16. So I'm going to run it. I do a 16 mesh when I'm doing my cleanup. So 16 mesh, and then 16 times 2 is 32. Well, I'm going to use a 30. 30 times 2 is 60. I'm going to use a 50. So no more than ×2. And that's going to make sure that your smallest piece of gold is going to outweigh your largest piece of garbage. So no more than ×2, and then run each of those batches separately, and you'll have a lot better result, whether it's in your pan, whether it's a spiral wheel, miller table, blue bowl. If you size everything correctly, you're going to have a lot easier time doing it. And then remove the black sands. When you're removing the black sands, you're taking the middle weight out. You've got real light garbage, you've got real heavy gold, and then your middle weight is your black sand. So if you're doing that, and then you go to your cleaning device, it's gonna all of a sudden your cleaning device is working like it did when you picked it up at the gold show. Like, well, they made it look so easy there.
Yeah.
But it's all about classification, getting things sized right, and some of the problems that you'll come into when you're cleaning your gold, or when you're capturing it in the first place out in the wild. It's not necessarily the size that's the problem. There's a lot of other issues that come into play. And when I've cleaned up ounces and ounces of gold for other miners and stuff, the stuff that they give me is the stuff they've had trouble with. And I'll tell you exactly what the trouble is. It's not just the size, it's the shape. Okay. If I've got a piece that went through a 50 mesh screen, and when you turn it sideways, it disappears. It's so thin, that's going to act like a kite. So the shape of the gold is going to be the problem. If it's perfectly round, it's going to act like a ball bearing. If it's perfectly round, it'll roll to the bottom of your pan with the garbage. It won't stay up at the top because it's easy to roll. All right, so you can lose gold in your tailings that way, just because of the fact that it's round. The round gold sits really nice in a sluice box because it's aerodynamic. The water can't push it. But it's in your pan, it'll just roll down to the bottom. In a spiral wheel, it'll go to the top pretty easy because it's got a nice path to go up in there, and the water can't push on it. There's no sharp edges, so that's an easy one to capture in a spiral wheel. But on a miller table, that same piece of gold, the water's just going to push it right off the end. It'll just roll it right off the end. So you got the shape really becomes a problem, and also composition of the gold. You've got two problems that can happen with composition that affect the weight: the purity of the gold, and then you've also got the if there's any host rock still stuck in there. If half of that clump of gold is quartz, then you've basically cut your specific gravity of that clump in half. All right, so you now it's going to act like the same weight as black sand by size, and then and it'll be very easy to lose track of. So looking at it under the microscope and seeing a bunch of rock still stuck in even small gold, I mean, it's real close to the source gold. It's going to be easy to it won't be too hard to catch with a sluice box, but then it's going to be almost impossible to get it separated away from your black sands and pieces of lead or whatever might be stuck in the worst of the worst up in up in Bering Sea gold. They call that gold the bastard gold. No matter what you do, the bastard gets away. But
oh no, go ahead, continue on.
Yeah. So the composition of the gold, and then also the purity of the gold. There's some gold out there it's only 70%. And so there's a lot of silver in it. So the mass of that gold won't be as heavy as a more solid piece of gold, 18, 20, 22 karat gold. A lot of the gold, like the Michigan gold is real close to about 95% pure. There's some gold in, I was just working on a mine in Colorado. Their gold is 70% pure. So there's a lot of copper in their gold. And so, the purity of the gold is also going to be a factor of whether or not you can get it to stick to the bottom of the pan or whatever machine that you're going to be playing with. So the purity, the shape, all of that stuff comes into play. And there's going to be some pieces of gold that I don't care how bad you treat it, it's going to be there. And then there's going to be that piece, no matter what, you can't get it to hold still. So you just end up, I'll just grab a pair of tweezers and stick it into my bottle and quit fighting with it. So there's no one machine out there that is going to be able to capture everything, except, remember I was telling you I hate buckets? If you get a bucket full of material, you've caught 100% of the gold in there.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to give some stuff away here.
All right.
Here's what I was trying to do. So I was trying to print. That didn't, well, it kind of worked out okay. Then I tried to print that thing up.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of small. So what I ended up printing up is this here.
Nice. The gold cube is awesome.
Okay, that's a tumbler. That's a 12-ounce tumbler that I want to give away. And I also have this Gold Fever radio tumbler I've given away also. So I'm giving these away here.
Nice.
So I got to see, what I'm going to do is ask a question. And let's do this Gold Fever radio one here first. I'm going to give this away to the first answer. And Mike will be the judge in case if there's a discrepancy, then it's going to come down to Mike. No, it's not 1949. I'm going to ask this question, and then the first one in the chat room that answers it correctly will win it. And it has to be kind of what I've written down, but like I said, Mike is the final judge. Okay, here's the question. Mike said earlier, a bunch of fat guys can't do the damage as what? First one in the chat room with that answer, and it'll go so fast that I'll try to see when I say it, I may miss it. A bunch of fat guys can't do the damage as what? I see Tad said a storm, Mother Nature, storm. I see a storm in Mother Nature. Like I said, everybody's saying storm. Okay, so I'm going to say what I wrote down was nature. Now, people said a storm. Paul said nature. So I would have to say Paul got it then, right?
There you go. If that's what you wrote down.
I wrote nature. That's what you said, is that as nature can do.
Yep.
So people said a storm, but Paul said Mother Nature first, and then he corrected it with nature. So I would say Paul won that.
Yeah, a bunch of fat guys can't do the damage of drunken chickens.
So, Paul, you'll have to send me your shipping info, and I will send you this out. What's cool about these here, these 12-ouncers, you get this little skid plate with it, too, that goes on the bottom, and you get a little metal straw and a little brush. So,
those metal straws work great for when you're trying to blow the dust out of crevices when you find the target.
Oh, that's another idea, huh? Or when you're up there, you don't have a... like how many times have I gone out and say dry washed or something, then I look around and say, crap, I don't have nothing to put my concentrates in. So I have to find either a baggie or something, my pocket to haul them back in, So, Oh, I forgot to write the answer of this one down. I think I remember it, though. Okay. We're going to give this one away. Okay. The gold cube is awesome.
Woohoo!
I wanted to try to put your mug on there, but I have to size it too. So I have to print it, size it, and I was trying to do all this and print them, and they weren't working out. And so, anyways, okay, we'll give this away. This is the question here. So again, Michael has to be this final judge. Kathy says, "Okay, I won." Yeah, you're dealing with Paul, huh? I mean, no, Paul. Yeah, okay. Okay, so if I remembered the answer to this might get screwed up here, but if I remembered the answer, you got to learn to do what? First one in the chat room. You got to learn to do what? People just guess stuff, they just, okay. Oh, Herb got that one first. Herb got it first. Pan.
There you go.
Herb got it. Herb, you got that one. Herb, Cato won it. All you other guys are coming in there. Hello, Jason, Craig, Guy, all you guys popping in here. You should print one with Mike's photo from him. Well, what I was going to do was print it on there, and then but I couldn't put him. Anyways, Herb got that first. That was Pan. That's the first thing got whatever that question was. You got to learn.
Good job. Good job.
Okay, Herb, send me your shipping info, and I'll send one out.
Let's do another one.
That's one of a kind.
No, let's do another. Let's do a golden rule.
Okay, do a golden rule. You ask the question then, and I'll look at the answer. You don't have to be the judge. Or, you can send me a private chat of what the answer is.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to.
You can see the chat though, right? So you can see it.
No, I can't see the chat. I haven't got that up.
Oh, okay. Send me send me the answer and then ask the question.
Okay.
We'll take a quick break. I'll play this commercial and we'll come right back. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
ICMJ, the International California Mining Journal, was first published in 1931, 93 years old this year. Since our first issue, our goal has remained the same, and that is to provide miners with a voice, a marketplace for their goods and services, and to offer expert advice and tips from our knowledgeable writers, miners, geologists, all in the field. We still offer our 12 and 24-month print subscriptions, but keeping up with the times and with our reader requests, the digital online subscription option allows for a simple and gorgeous reading experience using your preferred technology, your phone, your tablet, or computer. Sign up for our print, online, or both print and online at www.icmj.com. or call us at 831-479-1500. For our advertising services, both display advertising and classifieds, select the Miners Market section or call us. Happy prospecting.
Oh, man, make that almost just a time there. Okay. Here we are back. Okay. I didn't see a private message yet.
We should have got it.
Can you see where you send that at?
I sent it Messenger.
Oh, you send it on Messenger. Oh, you didn't send it right here on this thing.
No.
Okay. Oh. Okay, you send it to me that way. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, you going to ask a question?
Yeah, what year did I find gold on Lake Superior?
All right. That's a good one. That'll make them see who's really been paying attention.
Hey, we're a bunch of broke miners. We're too broke to pay attention.
Karen McAfee, hello. John, Dr. Hello. 92, Paul says no. 1983, Guy says no. 2023, no. 1967, no. Oh, no. Craig says 98 and 67, no. trying to see these because sometimes you guys just guess and stuff,
Yeah, throwing it out there.
Like start at 1 and just keep 2, 3, 4, 5. No, no. Oh, there's an answer. Wow. I see. Let me make sure that nobody else got that first, but the first right answer that came in was Herb. Herb again. 2008. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Herb, I believe you were the first one that got that, 2008. If I'm wrong, somebody else will correct me, but I'm sure. But that is correct, 2008. Herb. Wow. Oh,
One
Mike.
more. Let's give away a banjo pen.
Oh, right. Mike is typing something here. You're doing two things at once. You're what do you call that? Yeah, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, I'm getting in touch with my inner female.
Multitasking.
Right. Yeah, that too.
Oh, okay. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Okay. You gonna ask her that?
Yeah. What's my partner's name? Let's make it difficult. They've I actually said his full name on here. So they've got to use his full name, his first name.
You didn't give me that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, okay. I should have known that. Duh.
Oh yeah. Well, he got it anyway.
Okay. That was the question for Banjo Pan. What is Mike's partner's name? Man, that must have stumped them. They don't know how to. They don't know how to respond to that one.
Yeah, I met this guy online.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was selling the Golden Sand hand pump, and I saw it on eBay, and the fool left his name or his telephone number in the description. So I called him.
Oh, really?
That's what started it all.
And that's what started it. But that's not the one that you run around the world with.
No, my running buddy right now is Cash Best. He owns Golden Sand that he bought from my partner in Colorado.
Yeah. The partner. Look at that. They're dumbfounded. They don't know what to say.
Good.
Nobody can even comment. If they are, they're not coming through.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, nobody's saying nothing. Nobody is commenting. Somebody take a guess, anyways. They're all Googling it. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, if they do that, they may get it wrong because it may say his real name.
Yeah.
They're probably rewinding the show.
Oh, let's see. Okay, hold on. Here they all come in now. Oh my gosh. Okay. It was on a delay.
Oh.
Okay. Cash. Nope. There you go. Kathy got it first. Well, I don't know. We're going to have Mike's the judge of this. Paul says Jack Daniels. Okay, so man. Okay,
I'm not as stinky as you drunk I am.
Yeah. So it's funny because so here's the thing. So Kathy says R.E. Wilcox. And then Paul's Jack Daniels, Gold. Jim says Red Fox. And then Kathy said Red Wilcox.
Well, there's only one answer, one right answer.
Red Wilcox, I guess
Yeah,
it is.
there you go.
So that's Kathy.
Well, way to go, Kathy. Now she's got to choose between green, blue, black, and pink banjo pan.
Okay, green, blue, black, or pink banjo pan, Kathy. What do you want? So Herb got the golden or the that rule thing.
The golden rule. Yep.
So you guys send me your contact info. And oh, thank you, Tad. Uh, Tad, tell me how to block stuff. So either email me a personal message or email at goldfeverradio@yahoo.com your contact info, and I will pass that on to Mike. And you guys that want something that I'm doing here, then just send me the same thing, your shipping info, and I'll pass that on. Kathy says green.
Cool.
Okay. I heard a rumor one time that if that on panning, green or blue is the most popular. If you wear glasses, you like blue. If you don't wear glasses, you like green. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I heard that rumor once.
I've noticed that, but when I'm dealing with the colors, I like black if I'm concentrating material down. I like black because it's easier to see that you're still in it. It's a very quick indicator that you'll see the flash in the pan, real easy. So if there's gold in there, you're going to see it. If I'm going to clean it down to where I've got to snuffer it up, then it's hard to see the black sand, and you're not going to get it very clean. So just for concentrating gold down, I like black pans. When I'm in like in a river where there's a lot of shade and stuff like that, I like a green pan. When I'm out in the desert and with a lot of bright sunshine and the pan tries to get dusty if I'm dry panning, and then the blue pan works better for me. And then the pink pan, I like that when I got friends that like to steal my.
Yeah.
But you got to be secure in your pan hood.
Yeah. Yeah, John, we already got an answer. You guys are on delay there. You guys are.
Now, let me tell you something about the pink pan, though. There's a lot of guys that are extremely colorblind. And they have a hard time with the blues and the greens. Okay. And because of that, it's very easy for them to lose track of where the gold actually is because it looks kind of gray to them. Okay. But the contrast, the brightness of the contrast of the pink is it actually makes the gold look almost green to where it actually stands out extremely well amongst all the other dirt that's really gray. Huh. So in a pink pan, someone who's severely colorblind, they're going to be able to see their gold a lot faster and a lot more accurately.
I have a pink pan. I left it out there. I found an old pink Trinity pan.
Really?
Yeah, the little dinky ones.
Yeah.
A lot of people hated that pan with a passion. They said the gold would get stuck in it. I said, wow,
sure.
Wow, that's too bad.
Isn't that what you want?
With that little ladder thing that came up,
Oh, yeah. Some those lines are just close enough that the gold to get stuck in there.
Yeah, that guy made them pans. Anyways, we won't get into him, but
you're right.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah, that's we're not supposed to swear on this tape, this show.
Yeah, because he could be listening behind the scenes.
Yeah. I doubt it, but
your spies.
You're right.
That just want to see what you're doing. It's like you do a video on YouTube. You always have your haters that no matter what you do, they're always going to give the thumb down. They hate you no matter what.
Hey, as long as you got attention, it doesn't matter if it's a like or not.
Well, that's true. Yeah. I thought he was going to say he had pink. Oh, Roland, that's not nice. No, I remember years ago when I used to go up like Lynx Creek here in Arizona and we'd pan. I had a buddy that spray painted everything he had orange. And I thought, that's a good idea because you can see it if it's laying down. So I thought, well, that's a good idea. So I'm going to spray paint all my stuff pink. So mine was hot pink, everything. So, yeah.
So did you get yourself a boyfriend that summer?
No, but But if you had people on both sides of you, you just go sit down with the little pink pan, and they just moved away from you.
Right, you got plenty of space.
How you guys doing? You guys finding any gold here?
Can I see your nuggets?
Yeah. Cool, the Mundo. So what's your next invention to hook onto the gold cube? What are you working on?
Nothing extremely diligently. We've talked about this. Oh gosh, probably the last 6 years. I've talked about a bucket-sized cube, but I haven't gotten to that point where we're going to make one. It'll be a cube that's big enough to separate inside of a bucket.
Oh, little miniature cube.
Yeah, a little miniature guy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll run with a 500-gallon pump. I mean, we've had a bunch of gold cube mat, the vortex mat cutoffs, and anything that'll make a 4-inch by 6-inch mat, we've been saving it. So I've got a hell of a pile. I'm gonna have to make a machine here pretty soon.
How about extended sluice? I see people been adding these extended sluices to some of them.
Well, there's 2 reasons for that. Well, 3. One is they're not very
Confident.
We'll forget about 3, and the other 2. The other 2 is they want to make sure that they're not losing anything, so they put something down there, and they realize it's a waste of time. But sometimes it's just nothing more than logistics. They don't want the water going where it's going to drop straight down in, so they have it going somewhere else. It's a logistical thing. It takes their tailings in the water farther away from where they're working. But I've had so many of my customers tell me that they don't even know why they bought that last tray because there's no gold down there. They got gold always at the first tray, and they said, I don't even know why I bought, more than that. I said, it's a safety net. If you ever find any gold out of there, that you didn't lose anything really. So it's if you're using the gold cube the way you're supposed to, and you have my mat in there, and you're doing exactly what the cube was designed to do, 1/8 inch minus, your poor sluice box is going to get lonely. So it's the best reason I've seen for sluice box at the bottom is logistics, just to get the water away from where you are. Maybe stop the turbidity around your pump if you got your pump sitting closer to the gold cube, whatever. But those are the main reasons that someone would do that. There is another reason. Up on like on Cape Disappointment, working on the beach up there. There's no machine alive that will capture 100% of that gold, because beach gold is just a whole new animal. On Cape Disappointment, you're allowed 10 square feet of surface. If you got a 4-stack, you've only got 4 square feet. Why not put some? Why not use some more surface? So they're just trying to get everything that they're allowed. That's all they're doing up there.
I saw a picture where one guy had like about 12 of them stacked.
Yeah. Well, there's a guy in Colorado that actually has a 12-stack.
Yeah.
And he does it for a real good reason. All your minerals that are what we call rare earth minerals, they all have different specific gravities. And the gold cube works by exchanging. They got the sand to go in, and then black sand says, I'm heavier, I'm going down, and it kicks out the blonde sand. And then gold says, I'm heavier than gold, I'm going down, or heavier than black sand, I'm kicking out the black sand. Okay, so it's a constant replace, exchange, exchange, exchange. Heavy in, light out, heavy in, light out. Okay, on the materials that he's running that 12-stack on, he actually has the cube sitting in a hole, and he's got another little step ladder. He's got at the top. But what he's done is there are so many different minerals that he's trying to capture within his concentrate that he needs more than just 3 trays of concentrates, because like rhodium is very expensive, but rhodium is about the same weight as lead. And a lot of times, if you got a heavy enough batch of material, that gold's kicked out all your black sand, kicked out your your lead, kicked out your silvers, kicked out your coppers, just to put the gold in there. So all of that stuff, as it goes down, it's gonna be like in zones. And when your lightest stuff of value makes it all the way to the bottom, it's time for a cleanup. So that's what he's doing. He's trying to capture. There's 18 different rare earth minerals. There's like 4 different platinum metal groups. I think it's 4. Let's see, rhodium, iridium, palladium, platinum. I think that's 4. But anyway, that's the platinum metal group. They've all got different weights. Like the platinum, palladium, they're sometimes they're even heavier than gold, depending on the purity of them and the purity of the gold that's in the area. But the iridium and rhodium, they especially rhodium, it's light compared to gold and the rest of the platinum metal groups. So they're going to catch in different areas. The farther down you get, the easier it is to kick them out with something heavy. And then when the heavies aren't getting all the way down to the bottom, then it says, "Oh, finally, I'm the winner. I'm the heaviest one. I can stay put." So he's able to get a lot of those rare earth metals by adding stacks, and that's one of the things. Yeah, Kathy's a winner. Hey, way to go, Kathy! That's one of the things that's really cool about the gold cubes. You can create a long stack, like a long tom all stacked up. Richard said I stacked up banjo pans like the gold cube several years ago. I remember seeing that. I think there was like a milk crate and everything that he did that with. But so once you can stack them up, tall. Or I've got a company in a customer of mine in Peru that's actually got 19 gold cubes side by side, and they're going through tailings. They're classifying everything to an eighth of an inch in a big trommel. Everything that's an eighth of an inch that goes through goes into a big sluice slick plate that is pinched down, divided up, and then resectioned off into 19 different zones. And then it feeds each of those 19 cubes. And then they've got a 20th cube that when it comes time to change out, and they do a cleanup every hour, they'll just take the water tray, the top tray that's got a hose connector on it that all the slurry comes in. They'll take and they'll move that over to the one that's not being used. Clean out this one, move it over, clean out this one, move it over. So they just cycle 19 all the way across, and they're going through like 10 yards an hour, and running through all those cubes. And then they have a bigger sluice box to handle 1/8 inch plus. So that's the way they're doing it, and they're making more money than the first guys that went through and crushed all that stuff in the first place. So there's the fact that you can get into an industrial size just by adding numbers of cubes, or get more concentrates by adding height to the cube. There's great flexibility for it'll adapt to almost every situation except nuggets.
So let's when you're talking that, so precious metal prices right now, gold is $23.70.50. Silver is $30.29.
Oh wow!
Platinum is $10.29. Palladium is $9.68. Rhodium is $4,600.
See,
that's on the bidding, but they're showing even copper. For some reason, all the exchange, everything is down right now. Why? What do you think drives all of these metals? Like right now, they're showing everything changing. Everything is down, in the red. So everything is lost over the.
Lost a little bit of value.
Yeah.
That could be anything. It could be
Biden's talking.
Because Biden, let's say that Biden released a bunch of oil reserve, 1 million of emergency oil reserves, trying to help with driving the prices down. And then he's also saying that he's not going to put those reserves back. Basically, politically, I don't want to get into.
Right.
It's always good to lower the prices of things before an election. I'll just leave it at that. But things like that, that's a big step. And other countries and investors and stuff look at things like that, and they try to guess the motivation. Okay, and when they try to guess the motivation, they're going to say, is this creating stability or is it questioning stability? And then the gold prices will fluctuate accordingly, because you hear people all the time saying, when the gold prices go up, that means the dollar ain't worth a crap. During hard times, the gold price goes up. During really good times, the price of gold goes back down again, because there's more confidence in the valuation of our economic level. So it hasn't followed that rule lately. But you can see, anytime something big happens, a war breaks out. There's an announcement that there's going to be spending money that was held from Russia to help rebuild Ukraine. I mean, things like that will affect the prices of the precious metals. So anytime anything happens big, whether it's oil, power, destruction, natural disasters, anything like that could cause a question of stability, that'll affect the price of the gold.
Cool. All right. What was you doing before you got here, Mike? That you had to hurry and get here.
Man, I tell you what, when you go to some place and say, okay, I've got enough time, and then you run into somebody who won't let you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's like,
So
gotta go.
So you just got home and you had to hurry and run in and jump on here. So, hey, we appreciate you coming in and hanging with us.
Well, I enjoy doing it. It's fun. I'm using I usually use my cell phone for this, but I'm using a laptop right now, and I don't know how to get I can't read any of the chat things that are happening. So I don't know what people are saying until you bring something up.
Yeah, anything of importance.
Yeah.
Cool. So, no, we appreciate you hanging with us and sharing all your knowledge. When you going up to Alaska this year?
I said I wasn't going to last year, and I ended up driving up there. I should have took a left at Albuquerque.
For up at Nome, like AKAU or something.
Yeah. I really want to. I've missed 1 year since 2007, and so I don't want to miss any more years. So I'll probably end up going up there probably in September sometime. It starts getting a little cold and wet and everything, but hey, I'm young and tough.
Yeah, I need to go back up there since I got a 6,000 now. I didn't have a 6,000 when I went up there before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I was last year when I went up there, I was with Cash Best, and I got 37 nuggets, and he got 17.
That's pretty good. I got 30 when I went.
Yeah, we're pretty pleased.
Yeah, no, and I found all mine with the gold monster, and I took a 2300 and didn't find nothing with the 2300. Found all gold monster, so came back and sold the 2300.
Yeah, I found all mine with the 7,000.
Yeah, well, you carry that. So I bought a new detector, and I'm going to have it. I'm taking it up to Meadview this weekend, and what it is, it's one of them PI detectors, but it's the one with the blanket that you pull, with the blanket on your quad.
Oh yeah.
Because, I had one up in Stanton back in, whatever that was, 20, 30 years ago. But the problem with that is there's so much trash. You're constantly getting off the quad to dig the trash. Well, up there in Meadview and all that, there's no trash. It's all been cleaned out. So if you get a target, it's either going to probably be a piece of lead floating around or a meteorite or a piece of gold.
When you play badminton, what are those called? Shuttlecocks? The badminton thing? So every time you get you just get a tube of those things, and every time you get a target, you throw it over your shoulder and keep driving.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, go together, Joe said. Yeah, I'd love to go back up there. I had a lot of fun up there at AKU. I'd like to go back one time.
Yeah, I really enjoy it up there. I, Mike Mike Slater was up there one time, and he had a camera set up, was trail cams, and he goes, "Mike, come over here." He had all the pictures downloaded. He says, "Look, there's you," and he says, "Look at the timestamp," and it was like 11:15, and he goes, "What's that timestamp say right there?" And I said 11:17. I said, "I'm not there anymore," and he says, "What's this next picture?" A big grizzly bear at 11:18.
Wow. Wow.
Like he was right behind me. He was tracking me. I was like, holy crap! If I'd have known that, I'd have left him a trail.
Yeah. Luis from Chile. Well, hello. You came at the end of the show. So, anyways, Mike, before we let you go, got to ask you a question, buddy.
Yeah.
Somebody just starting out in prospecting, brand new. What's probably your best piece of advice you'd give somebody?
Well, just like I said about the pan, you got to learn how to pan. Pay dirt is a good way to get enough of a realistic taste of how gold acts in your pan. There's so many people that come to me and they think they got gold and they've just got sparkly little mica and it moves too easy. You've got to learn how gold acts in the pan. Pay dirt, don't worry about return on investment. ROI crap, that just polluted the market. Pay dirt is only good for practice, so it should be called practice dirt. Learn how to pan with that. Throw it all back in there again and pan it out again. Do that 100 times. Get good at the pan. The next thing you need to do when besides getting good at the pan is join a club, because there's going to be so much information out there. Do I buy a gold cube? Do I buy a dry washer? Do I buy this? Do I buy that? Whatever. Do I need to buy? No, you need to learn. Okay, go join a club, get around a bunch of people that's already got the equipment, try it before you buy it, figure out if it's what works best for you, and then have fun. But join a club, learn to pan. Those are the two most important things you can do when you just get started.
Good advice.
Thank you.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Kinda. If you go on goldcube.net or my website, our videos are on there. You can they're still linked to Facebook. So go to goldcube.net, look at our videos, and if you see something that's kind of cool, you can there's a tab down at the bottom that says "Watch it in YouTube," and that'll take you to the channel. I think one of my channels is Mr. Gold Cube. Mr. Gold Cube, no spaces. Okay, that's one of the channels, and the other one is OK2CO. It's like Oklahoma to Colorado. So OK2CO. I got a bunch of woodworking stuff on there. Woodworking was my past life, and I went from sawdust to gold dust.
Kind of like the old Nugget Man.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are the two things I got for videos. Once in a while I'll put some stuff in there. I mean, just look around. If once you start, the search functions on the YouTube and the suggestions of what's next. If I've got something on somewhere else, they'll find me and say, hey, you may want to see this one. They'll send you down the rabbit hole.
So do you also have on your website too, if somebody need to buy a banjo pan or gold cube or something, you got all that stuff there for sale, huh?
Yep, all for sale. If anybody's wants it, if you put a note in the there's like a little note box on there. For the next week, if anybody says that they heard about my Gold Cube and watched the show for the next week, I'll give them free shipping. So just put
Wow.
it in there. It may charge you shipping, but I'll refund the shipping if you put a note in there saying you heard it on the show here, the Gold Fever Radio.
Wow, that's a good deal. Free shipping. But shipping nowadays is God, it's getting ridiculous.
It is.
I know these tumblers like to ship out are like $13 now to ship. No, it's not quite that much, but man, it's getting ridiculous. It costs more than the tumbler.
I shipped a box of hose up to Kelly up there in Montana. So it's a 22 by 22 by 25 box. It's a pretty big box. It doesn't weigh 30 pounds. But I shipped it up there. It cost me $78. It's like,
wow.
There's more air than plastic in this thing. Come on now.
Well, what I don't understand, so this detector I ordered is coming from Idaho, from Boise, and I paid for 2-day shipping.
Yeah.
Well, when I checked shipping last, it's in Kentucky. Why did it go to Kentucky from Boise when it should be here in Phoenix? That makes no sense.
Yeah, distribution points. There's like in Delta Airlines. Delta is actually an acronym. It stands for duh. Everything leaves through Atlanta. I was in Washington State. I got on a Delta aircraft and landed in Atlanta, coming to Oklahoma. It's like, wait a minute. I see it out the window. I want to stop over there.
What's your buddy been doing there in Oklahoma? Is he still producing and doing stuff, or is he slowed down a little bit?
No, he's actually picked up. There's quite a bit of action going on right now. I mean, sales have been great. We've been sending them out by pallet loads. So it's the Golden Sand's been doing real good. The Gold Cube's been doing real good. You ought to get him on the show.
He's been on before. You're talking about Jeff.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, he's doing real good too. In fact, his wife Laura, she just came by, pick up a bunch more hose. So they're extremely busy right now. They're doing real good business. You bet.
Well, that's good for you guys, because we're summertime, so we ain't doing too good here.
It's time to hide in the shade with a recirculator.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, Kelly redone my trommel because I had one of the originals, and he told me if I sent it back to him, whatever, he would, update it. So I sent it back, so he updated it. So I got to hook that all up, and I'll have to do a video and go get some material out in our secret spot out there and see what I can run. And that area is so torn up out there. People have been finding so much gold up there, man, in that wash.
Oh, is that right?
Unreal. There's so many holes. It looks like a battlefield up there now.
Yeah, my first time in there, when I found it at right on the edge of that the wash there, I pulled 8 nuggets out of there.
Yeah.
And then I seen some of the real nice ones that you pulled out, and pictures of some of the other guys that pulled out. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, this guy Brad, we made the mistake by telling Brad where this place was, because he went up on top and got close to the source. He was pulling out 5-gallon buckets full of just chunks of this stuff. And he came into camp and he said he would run his detector over. Here, you can have this one. Here, you can have this one. Here, you can have this one. And I would crush them up. Man, they'd just be loaded with gold. So we start calling him Pound Brad.
Yeah.
He pulled
when I went up, Cash and I went up there, and I saw on that ledge he had a bunch of it covered in already, but I just quickly checked his loose rocks around the area, and I picked up 4 pieces of rock that had gold in it. So
yeah, that's unreal. Yeah, we think the
that's
vein
cool.
is further down. We'd have to dig down at that slab up there, dig down, because he was down about 3 feet when he was pulling chunks of stuff out. So
right,
it's probably further down. Kathy says, tell Jeff howdy from the Delta Gold Diggers.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Jeff's playing at the lake this weekend. He left his wife behind.
Yeah, all right. That's a good thing. All right, Mike. All right, everybody. You guys all have a safe weekend. Stay out of trouble out there. Remember, if you drink and drive, make sure you have a vehicle and stay out of trouble. And have a great weekend. Please like, share, subscribe, and until our paths cross again, thank you, Mike. You guys all take care. We'll see you guys all later. Peace out. Bye.
Yeah.